Welcome to Legacy Mentor Wednesday, where we pull cards and we take a look at the letter that is brought forward. In this case, it is P, and we're going to connect it with the meaning of P, a tree connected with P, and then we're going to take a look at a word and then an image phrase. And that's going to open up our time together. Now, this video is prompts for you for your consideration of legacy, whether you're writing your legacy stories, preparing your contributions, managing your projects. So we're going to share them, and here we go. From the perspective of the P, that letter P is kind of an interesting one because I always associate with power, and that's how most people connect with it. That sense of power from within, without, born of curiosity, and the sense of inner wisdom, certainly around those everyday actions. Sometimes it's those smaller actions that we take that is what actually expresses who we are, the power that we have within, and as we share it without. Now, when it comes to the tree, I think of the poplar trees. There's different names for different varieties. There's the trembling aspen, it's the one where it trembles in the wind. There's the cottonwood, which I always associate, it has a bigger crown on top of it. And I have what's called cottonwood gate that I walk through when I start my walks. And going for any lengths of distance, I just say, peace be with all, and walk through the cottonwood gate. It's just one of those rituals that I have. So when it comes to the five words, the five P words, there's platform, program, projects, practices, and products. Now, I created these five, and I'll go back through them the other way, is from a product's point of view, that's tangible things that you could create with your legacy. Now, that could be an actual book. It might be the crafting of something that you want to give to someone else. It may be the actual tangible thing that you want to pass on as an heirloom. Then there's the practices, and I think of these are the services, the ways that you can be of assistance. And sometimes even writing the recipe book is a way in which to be in practices connecting with products, the recipe book of the family traditional meals and how you cook them. Then there's projects which ups it a little bit more, and it says, okay, here's a framework and steps that we're going to follow to achieve something, improve focus, or strengthen something out there in the future. So a project might be, let's make sure that we build that greenhouse in the backyard so that it's there for the generations to follow and actually help persons who are in the family and even friends to learn what it is to do some gardening in a greenhouse. When it comes to program, I think a program is made up of a series of projects, and you might think of a program as being something that's much bigger. And that might be something where you might lean into an international flavor. It doesn't have to be, it can be around your city, it could be regional, but thinking of something that shares it out in a larger geographic kind of idea. And then platform is the establishing of something that could last forever. I'm looking at creating a legacy platform around writing books. And if it works out the way that I think it's going to work out, then I'll be able to pass that along to someone else who continue to share legacy stories written by yourself and sent in, and we can put them into the books. And as I affectionately say, what I would like to do is plant agroforestry trees. Someone might say feed a poodle. I know someone who says that, who's linked to YouTube. And so I'm bringing that forward, but I also wanted to just share with you, here's another set of five P words: place, pace, prioritize, position, progress. The other one sort of had a flavor of there's some business that has to take place, or something that is nonprofit, or whatever it might be, or it might have that sort of little bit more rigidity to it. And I thought that I would just give you, okay, what could you place somewhere? A tree, something in the house for later. How can you pace your life in such a way as to live a legacy life so others can learn from you? Prioritize what? I think of prioritize means how do I declutter? So I'm going through all my boxes trying to figure out what it is that I can sell or share or recycle, whatever it is that I may have to do. Position, as in, what is your position as you are finding yourself aging here? What is it that you would position? What thoughts, what point of view would you like to share? And what progress do you actually want to see? I've known friends of mine who said, you know what, I'm going to make progress on that backyard. I got to get those trees all cleaned up in the backyard. And I go, let's go for it. And sometimes I jump in there and help. Sometimes they're living a distance away, and I can just sort of say, hey, how's it going? And talk to them about it. So I wanted to just give you that balancing of words that may have be actions you can take and things to be thinking about from a legacy point of view. Now, what becomes kind of interesting here is the selecting of the word that came forth. And I thought it was kind of interesting as I got certainty today. And certainty sort of follows along with the sense of, okay, how certain am I? Am I feeling confident about what it is that I'm doing? Am I clear about what's unfolding? And in living a legacy life, I find confidence and clarity are really important elements of living that quality of life, standard of living, that experiences of legacy that are there for you. And so, this whole idea of getting certainty and being able to find that in your bones, in your heart, is really important. So, clarity in how you see it and understand it without the confusion. How is it actually unfolding for you? The confidence, whether it's aging confidently or the activities you're involved in. Are you confident in what it is that you're doing in terms of trusting what the outcome is going to be? From a stability point of view, you're looking to be able to say is that you feel grounded. You're not shaken by what's going on. Because if you're feeling shaken or you're not grounded, then that uncertainty creeps in, and that's an unfortunate element of living your legacy life. So I would encourage you, and that's why the three words are on the top. You probably have seen them: patience, flexibility, and discretion. I have certainty in my patience, I have certainty in my flexibility and my discretion. Those three words are born of work that I did in other parts of the world. And I learned about them at gunpoint. I learned about them in situations that I would never wish to anyone else to experience. And unfortunately, some of that's still happening today. So I thought that I would just sort of strengthen this sense of certainty for you and connect it with the sense of um, inspiration and enthusiasm and presence and finding your certainty um, in that so that you have this sense of gratitude that goes with what you're doing on any given day in living your legacy life. Um, Here's a go-to way, and then come back to this slide, and I'm just going to go through it. These are statements about certainty. Certainty clarifies what to share in living your legacy life. Certainty strengthens your voice. Certainty anchors the story and meaning. Certainty invites others to reflect. Certainty makes the story timeless. So, your certainty through your point of view can make a big difference in your interactions with others. But I also would like to offer this caveat: certainty in legacy writing, sharing, contributions, projects, whatever it might be, is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing what you stand for and writing from there, working from there, sharing from there, doing whatever it is you're doing from that position, that place of pace, that sense of priority you want to offer, the products, the practices you want to share, the programs that you want to get involved with, the platform you want to create. So come back to this sense of 5 statements and just reread them again. And so if you're listening in right now, stop, go back one slide, reread them again, or listen to me speak them out, and then move forward again and see how they can actually inform you in living your legacy life. Now, the image was my who out. Who out there are you interacting with in this living legacy life? And very broadly, there's a term that's often used called stakeholders, those who have a stake in what it is you do. Yes, it's a business term, I get that. But I just wanted to bring that to the foreground because I'm just going to reinterpret some other words rather than the usual ways in which we talk about stakeholders. So there are the recipients of your legacy, there are contributors to your legacy, and supporters of your legacy. Now, contributors might be people who help you and give you of their effort and time. Supporters might be those who give you some money to be able to further what it is that you're doing. Then there's the advancers and the amplifiers. Those are the persons who are willing to get out there and share what it is you're doing because they may be directly involved or it's a way for them to support you. And then there's the mirrors. This is one that I had to search up because sometimes when you get going and you're involving your family and friends, they may not always mirror back something that you need to see that needs some kind of correction to help you get that certainty of what it is that you're doing. I call those the mirrors. And then there's the starters, the stoppers, the continuers in terms of those as they get involved with you. They're going to start something and they may stop doing things. They may be the continuers and keep moving things forward. There are the adders, the alters, the deleters, those who get in and add things or alter things or delete things. They're great to have with you. They may be a one time in and out and off they go. And then there's the social you who's out there without mask that you're sharing and just being with that person, reflecting on who you are while you're out there, because you get a pretty good sense of who you are within, but take a look at your without and see what's going on because that who out, you who out, there's a great impact that happens because of you being there with others, because of all the other things, your certainty, all the P words that have just been shared. So, from a legacy mentor point of view, I would encourage you to really think through what has been shared from those P words and the certainty and this who out and go back and re-listen to this. These are all prompts that at some point in time in living your legacy life will be of great help to you. I know in my heart of hearts, head of heads, and hands of hands that that is going to be true. What you're seeing now popping up, having gone through the presentation, are videos that I would encourage you to go to next. And you will find that what they'll do is they'll up your insights into living this legacy life. In particular, the playlist prompt, because I shoot these shorts anywhere from 50 seconds to a couple of minutes. And again, they're almost like daily prompts. And you can use those with your journal to shape and share your legacy stories, to live your story, to be in your legacy story living. Best wishes with it and take care.